Hello and welcome to the British Dapper, and today we're looking at how to buy your first suit. So buying your first suit can be quite a daunting task, and today's video is to try and give you a few hints and tips to make it a little bit easier on yourself, so when you go into that store to buy a suit you do it with confidence and you feel more comfortable interacting with the person when you buy that suit, and you know what to look for when you're buying that suit. So there are three main ways you could purchase a suit. One is to actually go to a tailor and have it bespoke, made specifically to you, measured and made and assessed by a tailor as they go through the process of making that suit. The other option is to take your own measurements or get somebody to take the measurements for you and then send them to somebody that will make the suit for you, specific to your measurements. That's made to measure. The third option is to go into a store or a shop and actually buy what we call off the rack, and that has pros and cons, and we'll come on to that in a bit more detail later. So bespoke is where you go to somebody that is a trained tailor. They measure you very precisely, so they know exactly the measurements that they're going to make the suit to. Whereas if you do, for example, made to measure, where you take your own measurements, there could be a little bit of error in how you interpret the measurements to how the tailor at the other end of the process interprets the measurements, and there may be some fine adjustments and fine tuning to do once the suit comes back to you. But generally a very accepted method, and most tailors nowadays will even do it online, so you can get a made to measure suit online. Now if we go into a shop or a store, this is slightly different. So there you'll have a range of sizes, normally done for chest measurements on the jacket, and the cuff lengths will be short, regular or long depending on their body type, and trousers that go with the suit, they also come in different sizes in the waist and also the inside leg measurements. So it's important really, if you're going to go to somewhere like this, you get your own measurements first. You work out what size chest you are, what size jacket you might need in the drop in the jacket itself, and also the inside leg measurements and waist measurements. So when you go to the store, then you know exactly what you're looking for, and then you can refine your search once you start looking. So you walk into that store, you're feeling reasonably comfortable because you know roughly what size you're looking for in the jacket and in the trousers. Now with that in mind, you'd need to do a little bit of fine tuning maybe when you're in the store, because not all suits are exactly the same. Different manufacturers, there's slightly different cuts. So try the suit on first of all. Try the trousers on first, because most people have worn trousers or jeans before, so they get a rough idea of the size and the inside leg. So when we do that, the first thing we need to think about is the waist. So different cut of trousers might mean that although you're a 34 waist, you might end up wearing a 36, or in some cases even a 32, depending on the gather and the way that the trousers fit. So be open to going up or down a size, and the same with the inside leg measurements. Now you might think, oh, I always get a 29 inside leg. Now a 29 inside leg, don't forget, is an average length. Okay, so if you're a 28 inch leg or you're a 30 inch leg, then you're going to have to think about going up a size or having them adjusted. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. When it comes to the jacket, you might think, well, I know I'm a 42 chest. So you put a jacket on and it's too big or it's too small. So again, adjust the size either way. The most important thing though with a jacket is the length of the jacket. And with that, the problem's always going to be short, regular or long. Now, if you put a regular on and you feel, for example, the jacket cuff where it falls is too short, for example, as you can see in the example here, where the thumb starts, you should see the shirt cuff. From the shirt cuff, you want to go back half an inch, quarter of an inch, and that will be where the jacket starts. That's the ideal measurements. Now, if it's too long and comes up over the hand, then the sleeve length is too long. And if it's too short, then obviously it's not in the right place. You need to change either going up a size or going up a length or going down a length from that regular fit, for example, to a short fit or to a longer fit if it's too short. The other thing to bear in mind is that although the sleeve length changes, so does the drape of the jacket, the length of the jacket at the back. So just be mindful of that. Whilst alterations can be made to most suits, they are finite. For example, there are certain things that you cannot change. The width of the shoulders are very difficult to tailor out. If they're too broad, then it's very difficult. If they're too short, too narrow, then the shoulder is not going to hang right on the jacket. So with that, the shoulders fit and you're reasonably right in the sleeve length, the length of the jacket should be, the bottom of the jacket should come to about the crease at the bottom base of the buttock and into the thigh. That's the best measurement there. That's the ideal place to have that look. The other thing I want you to bear in mind is that anatomy comes into this. Now, I've seen people that wear a jacket and they don't understand why one side is baggy and one side tight. It could have been because as they developed as a child or even as an adult, one shoulder grew more than the other. For example, people that have broken a collarbone, that side is always going to be shorter than the other side. And this also happens with the inside leg. Now, people may well have one leg shorter than the other naturally from birth and not even be aware of it until they have their trousers measured. Okay, so these are little things to bear in mind. Maybe your hips move to the left or naturally are more to the right, pronounced hip movement. So with that can throw the shoulders out. Okay, so these are little things to obviously you need to think about if it doesn't quite look right when you're looking in the mirror, when you're trying that suit on. But the thing is, always try and get the suit that's the best fit for you. Then my advice is, with any off-the-shelf suit, off-the-peg suit, is that there's always going to be, to get the best or a better fit, have some adjustments done. That can be done through a local tailor or a seamstress or somebody that specialises in alterations. So you could have the jacket shortened a little bit in the length. You could have the break of the trousers where it meets the shoes, for example. That can be adjusted as well. So for example, if the break is too short, we need to get a longer pair of trousers. If the break is too long, we need to get them adjusted. And obviously if we get them adjusted, we get them to that point where they naturally fall onto the shoe and there's no real puckering in the bottom of the trousers itself. So simple advice: if it fits, that's great. Material, I wouldn't get hung up about material, especially for your first suit. Wool and worsted materials are obviously very expensive, or more expensive. More harder wearing materials have polyester, lycra, even Teflon in the blend of wool and other materials. They tend to last a little bit longer because they're a bit more harder wearing, and that obviously brings the cost down as well. It's personal choice. It's what the suit feels like, I think, when you actually put it on, how it feels, how it hangs. They're the things that really count. Fit is paramount. Material second. Colour is another issue to think about, but that's a personal choice. I like to wear a pinstripe suit for formal occasions or semi-formal occasions, but having said that, a plain charcoal or a plain navy suit is a great first purchase, because you can just about wear them for any event. So with that in mind, you can wear a suit for a more informal occasion as well. And when it comes to accessories, just think about juicing it up a bit if you want to. Don't be afraid to wear a coloured shirt. Don't forget to change the pattern of the tie. If you've got pocket squares, that's great. If you don't, or you don't feel comfortable with them, don't wear them. Yeah. The point is, you feel comfortable. You feel good wearing that suit. You go out there and you nail it when you go and buy it. It's as simple as that. With a few little tips that I've given you, hopefully you should be able to go into that store with a little bit more confidence and know that even if it doesn't fit straight away, you can always have it slightly altered. Even some stores will make the alterations for you. So don't be afraid to speak to that person, that salesman, and tell them what you want. Don't be afraid to do that, because they are only as good as you let them be. So don't forget the three things. First of all, do you want bespoke, made to measure, or do you want to go in store and buy in store? If you're going to buy in store, then don't always expect it to have a perfect fit first time. You may need to get some adjustments made, shortening the inside leg, or maybe the jacket length might need adjusting as well. These are all things you can have done at a slight additional cost. What about the materials, and what about the jacket itself or the pattern? I would suggest that the fit is the most important thing. And with the fit, if it's good, you'll feel good, you look great, you feel comfortable wearing it, and you don't feel awkward at all. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. We always like to see subscribers, so if you want to join our little group, please subscribe. If you want to get notifications of when we're next sending out a video, click on the bell. And we always like comments. So any constructive comments, jot them down below and we'll get back to you. We also use comments as a way of gauging what our next subject will be, or when we're going to address a particular subject. So mention it, and you never know, it could be the next video we do. So until next time, take care.